going to be doing a collective message. And if anybody would like to donate, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wish list, and P.O. box in the description box below. If you guys are interested in this painting, then you can find it on my esty shop as well. There you go, get a better look at it. And today's reading is going to be about a lot of things coming to light that you didn't notice before. A lot of shocking changes coming into play. New ideas coming through. Everything's really going to be lit up. Everything that was hidden before and couldn't be seen is going to be being lit up. And you're really going to be diving to the depths of all of those things and seeing things in a completely different way than you have in the past. Because there's definitely going to be a lot of things brought to the light that have been hidden in the dark in a very shocking way. Angel's wings. My guides cut the grass so I can see. As they do, all the snakes flee. No more checking my ankles down low. They can't breach this fiery glow. Lightning speed beneath my feet. It's too bad that you lost your seat. Your poison will never take me out. I am immune to what you're about. Sent as a test by the divine source, a power that you can never touch by force. I hope that you learn before it's too late. I am on the side of fate. So you're definitely going to be seeing as well, because of these things being exposed, just how protected you really have been in the past. You may not have known the extent to which the protection has been there, but you are definitely going to be finding that out and seeing just how deep it goes. Dream. So your dreams could also be hinting at things as well. Eagle and unicorn. Majesty, power, concern that things will be positive. Things will be positive emotionally. Your opinions can't be changed easily. This can be good or bad. Courage and the desire to grow and explore. Good fortune and victory are coming your way. If you are attacked, it means that there are some self-imposed limitations that you need to break through. Could also be career success or ambitious goals are about to be achieved. Fierceness, freedom, and courage. You may be facing a fight for your rights. I Know My Rights by Chris Webby. Great song. Hope, insight, high ideal, power, purity, magical feeling, or a wish for more in life, especially more magic. High personal standards. You may have some distinct and unique abilities. Gentleness and meekness can be represented here as well. A fight for what you want. Set healthy boundaries, but remain pure and loving in spirit. Can be representing your innocence. High ideals to be followed. Fortune coming your way. Insight into a matter of importance is being given to you. Faith in your dreams and belief is needed. Good times are ahead. You possess great power and strength. You can face anything. So, a lot of these things that are going to be being revealed to you are also going to be showing you just how much you are able to face and make it through. How many things that you can overcome that you maybe used to think was impossible. Picture for mom. I love you. The challenges that she faces. P.S. She always overcomes them. Mom. A stem so small can hold a bud so big. So you're also going to be starting to realize just how much weight you have had to bear and how strongly you have bared that weight. How solid you've been throughout things that a lot of other people would not have been able to face head on. You have been able to face these things head on, and you've been able to overcome them. You've been able to make it through these things. So you're definitely going to be seeing the level of strength that you have inside and how amazing that strength really is. Spiritual warfare is the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw the 9 of Swords, 9 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. So you have been able to transmute any sort of energy that has been coming your way in dealing with fears or anxiety Any kind of, because I feel like there has been definitely some people trying to project their energy at you. What this is reminding me of is I actually had somebody about 2 weeks ago that I was with that literally told me that they were projecting that energy towards me. They actually admitted it. No gaslighting, no nothing. You know, it makes you question, okay, so wait a second here now. Is this person evil or not evil? Because they're actually telling me exactly what they did here. But I feel like there's been a lot of people projecting fear towards you. There's been a lot of people that have been in a very selfish energy around you. They've seen the abundance that you have within you, the respect you have for yourself, the stability, the loyalty, the honesty, the integrity, the dignity that you carry, and how you carry yourself. They also know that your dreams are getting ready to come true. There's a lot of things being fulfilled for you right now in this moment. And that's because you know that you have everything that you need inside of yourself emotionally, and you don't need anything outside of you. You don't need that validation. You don't need that recognition. You don't need those people or those things. But you are going to end up with a lot of those things as well. Some of you may even have some sort of fears surrounding a celebration in the near future as well. And this is going to turn out very different than those fears are leading you to believe. There has definitely been a shift in energy in your life, and you are going to be noticing that everything is going to be turning around for the better. There's a lot of good fortune coming your way, a lot of blessings coming your way, a lot of good energy coming your way for the path that you have been able to build for yourself and walk down. There could also be, for some of you as well, a very strong commitment coming into your life from another person as well. Somebody who may be very honest and open, somebody that really wants something solid and loyal and stable. Somebody who as well is very emotionally fulfilled in themselves and isn't looking to the outside for that fulfillment. Surrender to the flow. Allow any of the fears that are coming up and being triggered at this time to fall away, and let yourself surrender to what's going on around you, which is very hard to do. It's easier said than done, but it can be done. It is sometimes extremely hard to be able to let go of the fears that we have, to be able to just let those go and leave it behind and allow things to play out the way that they're going to play out, allow things to unfold naturally. And in allowing things to unfold naturally, you gain more strength as well. You gain more strength over your mentality, over your emotions. You really learn how to work with those things better. Challenge your perception. What is your perception of life? When you're in a fear-based energy, your perception can be very paranoid. Your perception can be very triggering. Your perception can be very lonely and miserable, and like you don't have anyone or anything that cares or things like that. But it's time to really challenge that perception, to understand the amount of beauty that you have inside of you, the abundance, the fertility that is capable of coming into your life, and really look at things in a different light and understand that everything that's been happening has been happening the way it has for a reason. Hi, Rashima. You're welcome. Thank you for being here today as well. I'm going to hang this towel back up over my window, but the opposite way as I had it before, because when I opened that up, it let a little too much light in, and it was making it really hard to see the screen of my phone. My phone is dumb when it comes to light. When there's any kind of light going on, you can't see it. Moth. The first thing that popped in my head is like a moth to the flame. Definitely a lot of wisdom resides within you as well. And you may be claircognizant too, where you tend to know a lot of things without having to think too much. But when you start thinking too much, it may cause this cycle of fears and this mental imprisonment to start playing out. And also, you may be very worried about what is attracted to your light. Don't be worried so much about what's attracted to your light. What is meant to be attracted to your light will be attracted to your light. That's the way it is. All you can really do is go with the flow and allow things to come and go as they do. Try not to take things personally when you're dealing with people, because a lot of the things that they're sending your way are things that are going on with them. It has nothing to do with you so much as what's going on with them and the way that they feel about themselves. There's a lot of times that people can feel extremely awful about themselves, and it causes them to act in ways towards you that are not okay, especially ways where they may treat you in a very despicable manner because they think that you're just like them and everybody's just like them, and a lot of them are in survival mode at the time, and they're just trying to survive because this world is a cruel, awful, horrible, disgusting place, and who hasn't been there before? But that's what that fear-based energy leads you to. That fear-based energy leads you to believing that this whole world is filled with nasty, cruel people who are evil and they're just out to get you. And when you're in that energy, you end up hurting a lot of people that you really don't intend to hurt. Even if your intentions are pure, you still end up hurting a lot of people you didn't intend to hurt. And a lot of times when you're in that energy, your intentions are anything but pure, because you're busy trying to protect yourself, you're busy trying to survive, you're busy trying to do things to make sure that nobody can hurt you, when in reality nobody was really ever trying to hurt you. Everything isn't all about you. There's a lot of times that when you're in that energy as well, you really start to think that everybody is paying far more attention to you than people actually are. And so it causes you to think that a lot of people are doing more towards you than they are. And sometimes there really is. Sometimes there really is people that are doing evil, hurtful, cruel things. And the only thing we can do is stay in that peaceful center within ourselves, because everybody's hands will be exposed in due time. So, let's see what else we have going on in the message for today. I kind of last minute last night decided to set this up for this morning. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I decided to go with that feeling. So we have another thing from a child to their parent. This could be an actual child, or this could just be somebody who looks up to you in the same way. I love you for all the times I forget to thank you, for all the special things you do, for all the words that sometimes go unspoken. I need to say I love you, Mom. I do. So this could definitely be a time where you need to tell your own mother that you love your mother or your father. It could be a time when you have your children coming to tell you that. It could be a time where you need to remember the love that is present in the relationships that you have, even when it's hard to do. And it could be a time as well where you need to remember that everyone is going through their own things. Everyone has a lot on their plate. And people don't always act the greatest ways, especially when they're dealing with a lot of fears themselves, as we were just discussing. Ease your mind. Don't allow yourself to fall down this rabbit hole. PTSD is hard to deal with, and too much internet scrolling may cause psychosis. You need to pull away from it all to heal more. It is okay to need this time. So, once again, with the fears and the anxiety and the illusions and the prison in your own mind that this can create. And psychosis also can look very similar to a spiritual awakening as well. Not to mention the fact that these triggers that you're facing, these triggers are needed for you to be able to look at the root cause and understand why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, so that you can heal the things that are causing you to be distracted, causing you to be torn down, causing you to feel like you can't trust anyone or anything. The moment you start having these feelings or these thoughts, or the moment you start going down this rabbit hole, what is it that needs to be healed inside of you? And taking that time away from the world to heal is definitely something that is very okay. If you feel the need to, let people know what's going on and why you're pulling away. And at times I can understand why people don't let people know that. You've been so sad lately, and I'm not sure why, but I am here for you. You always make me feel better, but I'm not sure if I do the same thing for you. Can you let me know if I do? I would cuddle you forever just to see your smile again and to dry your tears. You are my whole world. So once again, these fears could be making you feel like you have no one around who cares, making you feel like nobody understands you, making you feel like there's nothing or no one that you can turn to, when in reality, there are more people around you who care than you think there are. And there are more people who would be there if you reached out to ask. And we all sometimes can get into this energy of, I'm in this alone and it's me against the world. Me Against the World by Tupac. Good song too. And yes, there are times that it is that way. But there are also times where we're feeling that way. And if we opened up our eyes and our heart, we would start to notice, see, and appreciate the beauty that is all around us. Because sometimes that beauty can be found if we are brave enough to open up our heart and our eyes and our mind to see it. The melting of winter. Find the warmth glowing within. Having optimism is a win. It's growing more every day, melting all the ice away. Your solar plexus shines so bright it chases away winter's night. As the snow melts, your walls drop. Keep going now, you must not stop. This new ground can seem shaky, I know. Just think of the green grass below. Uncovering your heart is hard work, it's true. But you will be rewarded for all that you do. And not allowing the paranoia, the fears, the anxiety to get in the way this time. How many times have you self-sabotaged because of the anxiety and the fear? Because of worrying, because of being afraid of being hurt, or being afraid of being stepped on, being afraid to appear stupid or naive, or being afraid of what people are going to think or what they're going to say, or how they're going to act, or whether or not they're going to feel the same things as you do, or whether or not they're going to leave tomorrow. All of those things stop us from living our best life. They stop us from being able to, when it paralyzes you, it stops you from being able to create beautiful things in your life. There's fight or flight, and then there's stay and be calm and in a peaceful state and just allow things to unfold naturally and at ease. Be at peace and at ease with the way that things are right now and with the way that they're unfolding. And yes, it is so much harder to do than it is to say, but it is so worth it in the end. Even if things don't play out the way that you wanted them to play out, you start to see that you did not have to destroy your entire life or your entire mental health or your entire well-being in order to deal with this situation. That all you had to do was allow things to play out and to be present for them. And then you have no regrets at the end of the day either. Because it can create a lot of regret when you step into that energy of self-sabotaging and sabotaging your life and the connections that you have in it. Did you know that when it snows, your eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? I was thinking about that the other night, and when it gets cold like that, and when you stay in that warm energy, that light that you shine can be seen. But if you step into that cold energy too, then there is no light to be found when the people are around you, are in that cold energy. And vice versa. If you're in that cold energy and you pick up on somebody's warmth, if they would have been in that cold energy too, you never would have seen that light that brought you back to the warmer energy. Two of Wands and the Page of Cups. You might be very afraid of the new beginnings in front of you, of the new journeys, of the things that are unknown, of these adventures that are at your door. But it's time to answer that call. It's time to choose a path and to walk down it. It's time to be okay with the fact that you don't know everything that's going to play out and exactly how it's going to play out, but that's okay. It's okay to take your steps without knowing each and every detail of the path and the journey. And besides, it would be a lot more boring in this life if we knew everything that was coming without actually living it. You do know a lot more than a lot of people do. But at the same time, you're not meant to know everything, and you're meant to have fun on this journey, to enjoy this journey, to get in touch with that inner child inside of yourself again, and to be able to feel free and uninhibited when you go towards whatever this is. Claim your power, create your world. You have the power to face and overcome any and all obstacles. It's okay to feel anxious, stressed, or upset, but don't live there. And don't allow this energy to destroy all that you have worked so hard for. Self-sabotaging again. You have so much more power than you have been led to believe. You have already seen a lot of it too. Trust yourself and trust in what you believe. Trust in the signs, the synchronicities, the messages that you receive. Trust in your divinatory powers and gifts, in your intuition, and trust in the fact that you will be protected in walking down this path. That all that is meant to be will be. Regardless of how you act or behave or what's going on, everything that's meant to be will be. Forgive yourself and others. Be strong enough to allow that compassion, that empathy, that understanding in. That does not excuse the behaviors of others. That does not allow abuse. What does that is enabling people and not having boundaries. Having compassion, empathy, understanding, having your beautiful heart open and free is not what allows those things to happen to you. When we first start trying to pull away from those types of things and heal those types of things, a lot of times we can get very angry. We can get very distant. We can decide nobody's allowed to touch my heart anymore because everybody's just going to stomp on it. So what's the point? We can also decide our heart is to blame for people hurting us, using us, abusing us, and stepping on us. But it's not our heart that's to blame. What's to blame is that we didn't love ourselves enough to tell people this behavior is not okay and to move away from it when it continues to persist. When we loved others more than ourselves and excused all of their bad behaviors, but apologized even for existing when it came to ourselves. That's what allowed those behaviors to continue and to be okay. So don't be afraid of your heart, and don't be afraid of the love that it possesses, and don't be afraid of showing that love to other people, because you may actually be able to bring a lot of life back to the connections that are in your life by allowing that beauty to show, by allowing yourself to reach inside and be strong enough to feel your emotions and let them be seen, heard, and felt by others. You have a lot of light and life within you, and you spread that to the world around you as you take these steps and as you step into the stance of a brave warrior, because that's what it takes. It takes a warrior spirit. Warriors aren't just people who fight battles and kill people. Warriors can also be people who are unafraid to act in the ways that they feel are right. What is the way that you feel is right to be acting in your life? Definitely could be something about a reconciliation here, whether that's in a partnership or whether that's with people in your life, family members in your life, loved ones in your life, people that you've grown distant with, people that you've moved away from, people that have hurt you in the past but have decided that they no longer can treat you in those ways and that they no longer even feel like it was right to treat you in those ways because they are seeing the truth now, where in the past they didn't, and they're seeing the truth because you finally put your foot down and you told them exactly how you feel about the things that they were doing. and that you're not going to put up with it, and you've moved away from them, and they may be trying to come back and be like, hey, I'm sorry about the way that I treated you. Can we try this again? And I would like to try to do things differently this time. But the only way that you're going to allow these things to flourish is if you're able to drop your guard and if you're able to step into that heart energy. Realize. And yes, that sounded like I said the same thing 3 times in a row. Realize. So, once you step into this greater amount of authenticity, once you start shedding more of those masks and allowing the truth of who you are to be seen, you start to realize the more real you are, the more you notice when other people are being real or when they are not. You start to see when people are holding back emotions that they feel inside, whether that be anger, whether that be love, whether that be fear, whatever it is. You start to see it more because you remember what it was like to be in that energy and to be holding yourself back in those ways. Also, you start to see that it's okay if people are believing the lies, the bullshit, the gossip, the drama, the chaos surrounding you and who you are. Because those people are not people that you want in your life anyway, if they're willing to believe things without even getting to know you. And also, when there's people who don't believe those things and see through those things and want to make sure that they know what's going on in this situation, you start to realize those are the real people. Those are the authentic people. Those are the people that you want to spend time around and have in your life. The people who choose to refuse to believe the nasty going on around you. So, scripting to manifest. Hi, Mahir. I think that's how you say that. I'm really not sure. Mahir Ranjan? I don't know. But I hope I didn't butcher that really bad. So, scripting to manifest is also something that is very good for you as well. You can really create a lot in your life by believing in it and by putting it down on paper. Oh, Pretty Girl Magic by Moonlight Scorpio is a really good song for manifesting as well. And I believe that's the song where she's talking about writing it down makes it real. If not, you could probably find that song by getting into a playlist with that song. Indian. I was wondering, and I was thinking it might be Indian. I was also thinking I had somebody that lived next door to me. His name was Rashim, and he was from Pakistan, I believe, at one point. He was such a nice man, too. He used to give my children oranges and apples a lot. They really liked that. They ate a lot of healthy food at that point in time in their lives. So he really made their day every time he gave them a piece of fruit. So, all of the things that you never dreamed of that could be possible, all of those big wishes and dreams and hopes that you have for yourself, all of those are planted in your head for a reason. Jacob Lee Conscience is another great song as well. It talks about how the ideas and the beliefs and the dreams that you have inside of you are all there for a reason. Whether or not you follow them is up to you, but they're all there for a reason. Because they can come true. And writing them out sometimes really helps to bring them into a solid reality in your mind and in your life. And it can really help to make it possible. And some of you may actually be at the point now where things are starting to grow so much every day that you can hardly remember the days when you prayed for those things. Remember to be grateful for the things that are manifesting into your life that you once prayed for. And remember, the rest will come. Sometimes it's a very slow and steady pace to get there as well. My name is Danielle. I have another channel which a lot of people on this channel have seen, and it's my poetry channel. A lot of the poems that are used in my readings, and mostly my collective readings, but some of my other readings as well, are on that channel. You can find a link for it in the description box. It's called D's Storytime. That's actually where a lot of people on this channel have found out my name as well. That's why I felt drawn to mention that. Today I'm doing $7 questions, but once a month, every month at the first week of the month, I do a free one question session for everyone as well. If you hit the little notification button, then you'll see when that one uploads, because I always write that that one's free on it too. But if you wanted to do the $7, then you can ask a question today. And you know what? Honestly, with where you live, if you just want to make a donation, I can do a question that way as well with whatever you can. Because, you know, I've watched some things recently, and I also know how much $7 is there. So I can understand if you can't quite afford that as well. $7 there is not quite as big of a thing here. With $7 here, you're lucky to eat lunch once. I was dealing with so much with no cash, no home, no support, nothing to show for work that I've put in for over half of my life. All of a sudden, that changed. And now my life is different from what it has been since my birth. No more worries about how I will eat or win. No thoughts of what I will do. Blind faith isn't so blind anymore, because I currently am seeing the rewards reaped from the crops that I nurtured for so long. So this blind faith that we're talking about having, well, now you do. That blind faith, and having that blind faith, is very hard to do. But when you take that leap of blind faith and you believe in your wings to carry you, you're welcome, sweetheart. When you believe in your wings to carry you, and you believe in your ability to fly, and you take that blind leap of faith, just like a baby bird jumping out of its nest, sometimes you might fall, sure. But even that falling is part of your success, because you took that chance. And you're not so scared to take that chance again. And sometimes when you take that chance again, it turns out to be the greatest thing you've ever done in your life. So removing that fear and being able to do that, and having that faith in the messages that you're receiving, in your guides, in the higher powers, in your ancestors to be there to back you up and stand behind you, that is so important. Yes, I can see your messages. Although I can understand the phone acting up thing, because you know what? I've had that happen a lot myself. It's crazy how quick life goes sometimes. I know that you expected me to be around longer and are still accepting what this means. Know that I'm here still, just in a different way. I live inside of you. Make my memory mean something and live your life. You are there for a reason still. Don't give up and put it to good use. You're welcome, Rashima. So, being able to live your life is something so amazing. And if you have somebody on the other side, they definitely want to let you know that they love you, that they're here with you still, and that they want you to live your life. They don't want you to just throw it down the drain, or they don't want you to be so upset or hurt in your emotions about what happened and them being gone that you don't understand what it is, what gift it is to be here. It is a gift to be here. And sometimes it can be very hard to look at life as a gift, because there's so much hardship and pain and hurt that you go through. And there's so many obstacles and so many bad things in this world. But there's just as many good things in this world. Sometimes we can be stuck in looking at this world and the life we're living as hell on earth. But it can be heaven on earth too, depending on the perceptions that you want to have about it. whatever you see is what is true. Whatever you feel is what is true. So what are you going to allow yourself to see and feel as you're living this life? Are you going to allow yourself to see and feel all the good things in this world? I was actually just having a conversation with somebody the other day, and apparently what I said to them at one point a couple months ago really stuck with them. They constantly feel like they're in the wrong time period. They constantly feel like, this world today is just not made for them and isn't a good world, and it's awful and horrible. And, the Christian religion leads you to believe that the entire world is going to hell in a handbasket and there's nothing we can do to stop it because the fiery flames of hell are consuming this earth. And, there's a lot of people that think that way. But if you really look back in time, yeah, sure, there's a lot of bad things today. There really is. There's a lot of bad things today. There's also a lot of good things today. How many people these days look away when it comes to doing the right thing? And how many step up when it comes to doing the right thing? In some countries, we're further along than in other countries. But overall, collectively, the consciousness level is raising, and it always has been since the beginning of time, from cavemen to now. It's been raising. The level of empathy has been raising. The level of awareness has been raising. The level of kindness. When you go back and look at 60 years ago, where in this country, they were beating black people on the side of the street and locking them up for no reason. They don't do that anymore these days. No matter how much the media wants to convince you otherwise, that's not something that is tolerated these days. If people see injustices like that these days in this country, they will do something about it. And you can find similar things in your own countries as well. When it comes to being a woman 60 years ago, it wasn't so great either in this country. When it comes to living in the Middle Ages, that wasn't such a great time period in a lot of ways. There were some good things about it, sure. Like the fact that there was a lot less people, there was a lot more space, there was a lot more land, although being able to own any of that land was nearly impossible unless you were a lord or a lady or knighted or whatever the case may be, unless you somehow got permission from the king to own that land. And shit, even then you could have some other country come over and stomp your land into the ground and burn and kill and rape and pillage everybody in your country and steal your country. And there wasn't much anybody could do about it, especially since a lot of the people that were lower in ranking weren't even allowed to have weapons. Just look at what happened between England and Ireland. Not to mention the fact that back in those days, child sex slavery was just a pretty much normal standard thing. I mean, people stole the children that nobody wanted off the streets and took them home to be their slaves, whether that's sexually or just in general to be their slaves. Not to mention the fact of how much actual slavery was going on in different time periods throughout the ages. When you had the Egyptians enslaving European people, and when you had the European people and the people in this country enslaving all of the Africans, you had the way that the Italians and the Irish people were treated when they came over to this country too. Until they finally decided, you know what, we'll band together and they're white people too. And then they turned their back on the other people that were being abused that were, yeah. Anyway, every time period you look at can have something bad, horrible, awful, negative about it. And every time period that you look at can have something beautiful, amazing, wonderful. It's all in how you look at it. And honestly, I really do feel like the consciousness level, the empathy level, the awareness level has been raising since the beginning of time. And it will continue to rise. Whether people want to tell you otherwise, believe otherwise, it doesn't matter. If they want to live in hell, then they can live in hell. But if they want to live in heaven, it's right here in front of us. This amazing world that's sitting right in front of us with all its beauty around us, with all the abundance it has to offer around us at all times, is sitting right in front of us if we choose to open up our eyes and see it. King of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Seeing things from a new perspective, taking a pause to really look at things, to really understand that you have everything inside of yourself that you need, and the universe will provide the rest, to be confident in that, to have self-respect and self-esteem and care for yourself and love yourself, see yourself in a higher light. Through Heaven's Eyes is another really good song. Not just looking at the world through Heaven's eyes, but looking at yourself through Heaven's eyes as well. Through the eyes that see the beauty instead of the eyes that are stuck so much on the flaws and all the nasty and all the negative. And it is so hard to do sometimes, especially when it seems like everything in your life is nasty and negative at the moment. But focus on that one good thing, and that one good thing will grow. There have been times where the only thing that I had to be thankful for was the fact that I wasn't being snowed on, because I did have a roof over my head and I had a bed to lay in. I had no heat and it was dropping down to below zero outside. I had my dogs. And those are the things that I focused on during that time, to keep myself from falling into that rabbit hole, to keep myself from falling over the edge, to keep myself from becoming a drug addict and an alcoholic because everybody around me was. But that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was to continue working on my purpose and continue believing that I would have what I need. Even if it wasn't always what I wanted, I would have what I need to be able to continue. And sometimes what you need and what you have is only what's inside of yourself. But what's inside of yourself is so much stronger than you believe it is. And sometimes you have to go through those things to be able to see that. Increasing your emotional intelligence, increasing your emotional awareness, increasing your ability to be able to handle storms with peace and calm and clarity inside of you is something that you have been given the chance to do when you're in those situations. So be grateful for that chance to learn, to grow, to expand yourself. For the chance as well to be able to express your love or your emotions, whatever they may be, without fear of everything falling apart, because everything else has already fallen apart and you've been able to handle this storm just fine. So now you know that it doesn't matter what happens, you'll be able to handle it anyway. And now you can really express the truth within you because of that. Heed the messengers and show that you care. Once again, show the feelings that you are feeling inside. Be giving and generous of the love that you have to offer and the heart that you have and that you hold. Don't spend so much time protecting that heart that you don't show it to the world. Because then that heart is not as beautiful as you think it is anyway. When that heart is selfish and unkind and isn't willing to be open and giving and isn't willing to love and isn't willing to be there, that heart is not as beautiful as you think it is when you're protecting it. But when you're allowing it to be seen, felt, heard, open to the world around you, that is the most beautiful and amazing heart that you could have. That is a heart worth protecting. And there's a difference between locking it away to protect it and protecting it by voicing your truth and by moving away from things that aren't good for you. And also by working out those problems inside yourself that are causing hurt and pain. Differences. We all have differences, it's plain to see. We all have differences, even me. When you wake up each new day, remember to look in the mirror and say, I'm amazing and super cool. I'm going to have a great day in school. Don't let the bullies make you sad or angry, upset, or mad. Remember that they have feelings too. Maybe they are just like you. They have a heart and sometimes it breaks. Maybe they just have more aches. Stand up for yourself, but be kind too. You don't want to be a bully too. To do, talk to an adult, they will help you. So, This one is actually the child version that I wrote. I honestly have no idea what happened to the adult version I wrote, but for some reason, the child version is the one that always comes out. And if you guys want to be able to find it again, you can find it on my other channel, D's Storytime. There's a link in the description box for that. So remember that when it comes to other people, it's not about you. The things that they are doing is not about you, it's about them. Sometimes they have a hard time seeing that there's other people that are hurting too. But then again, when you're thinking it's all about you, you're having a hard time seeing that there's other people that are hurting too. It's time to really look in the mirror and tell yourself you're amazing. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter how anybody else acts or behaves. It has nothing to do with you. And also remember that if you need to talk to somebody, if you need the help, there are people around you who will help. This theme has been coming up a lot lately, and the song that goes with this theme is Lean on Me. Because really, that's what pops in my head every time this theme comes up the last week or two, is how can anyone help you with anything that you have too much pride to mention? That's what it is. That's what stands between you and being able to reach out and connect to other people when you're feeling down and hurt and upset, not wanting them to see your tears, not wanting them to see your vulnerabilities, not wanting them to see your weaknesses because they may use them against you, or because they may think that you're naive or weak, or they may think you're stupid, or whatever the case may be. That's what holds you back from expressing things when you're hurting. When you are starting a connection with somebody, whoever that person may be, and you're feeling hurt by something they said, what stops you from telling them, hey, that hurt my feelings, and I would really appreciate if you didn't do that anymore? What is it that stops you? Because that's what you need to work on healing. Yes, now I can save the ocean. My other daughter drew this, and for one of her projects at school, something about saving the ocean. They did a thing where all the kids picked something that they wanted to show more information about, things that they felt were important for this world, and she chose saving the ocean as the topic. And like we were discussing earlier, the things that are put inside of your mind, inside of your consciousness, the beliefs you have, the dreams that you have, the things that you want to make a possibility and a reality are things that really are very important, and they're put there for a reason. When you follow those things to fruition, sometimes you do amazingly beautiful and wonderful things. Just look at the ocean saving thing that people have been working on for a while now. They have found ways to actually create garbage eaters that pull garbage out of the ocean. Garbage that could have been killing the animals that live in the ocean. They've really done a lot of things to be able to do that, but it all started with somebody's dream. It all started with somebody believing in themselves. And it all started with somebody who was probably bullied by everyone around them because everybody's like, oh, that's stupid. That could never happen. You're never going to make this happen, and blah, 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 and fighting against that. I was talking to somebody last night, about, okay, I shared a song last night from a friend of mine. I've been trying to convince him for a year to post something, to do something with that. And there's another friend that I was showing this video to who works at the gas station I'm staying next to. And they were like, yeah, a lot of people have tried to convince me and tell me to do the same thing, to create some videos on YouTube with my music or with my video games. And he's like, and I don't think I'm good enough, or I'm not going to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, and you know what's funny? I've been creating videos on YouTube for almost 3 years. This year in October, it will be 3 years. And not one person ever told me to do it. In fact, everybody told me not to do it, that I could never do it, that I could never achieve anything with it, that it was a stupid idea, that I couldn't make money with it, so it wasn't good enough, that all this other bullshit. And yet I'm here every day fighting to do it because of those people. So remember that as well, and be grateful for those moments too. As hard and hurtful and painful as those moments show you what you're made of. Those moments show you what you can do. Those moments give you the grit that you need to make it through the hard times and to continue to go after and follow your dream. Because the true dreams like that, they come at a slow and steady pace, and you have to go through a lot to get there. Easy come, easy go, right? Somebody who has 100,000 subscribers in a month, for one thing, they probably paid for those subscribers. Because you can do that, and I've been offered the chance to do that. I've even had 1 or 2 friends that have told me I could make a bunch of fake accounts and go subscribe and all that other shit, and I was like, I don't want that. I want to do this for real. I don't want the fake subscriptions. I want the quality over the quantity. I want to do something real, not something fake. Plus, easy come, easy go, which means those 100 subscribers in a month, they're not really loyal subscribers. They're subscribers that found you one day and they're gone the next. Or, like I said before, people pay for subscriptions like that and auto-generate them. I was actually reading something about a TikTok viewer the other day that had over 1 million subscribers, and it was all fake. She created those 1 million subscribers. That happens a lot. And then those people try to tear you down and make you feel like shit because you haven't gotten to that level as quickly as they did, when it's all a lie anyway. I get so excited every time I hear your voice or see your face. I love to play with you, and you always pick the best toys too. My bowls are always full, almost always never empty. Yeah, my bowls are almost never empty. If they are some days, it's because you're really sad and I don't even care anymore, because I just want to make you smile again. So, remember to be grateful for those that you have in your life that get excited when they see you, when they hear your voice. Sometimes we could be mired in so much darkness and despair over one situation that we don't realize the other people around us. I actually had a discussion with one of my friends at one point about that, because all of these fake ass people that were in her life that really did not care for her or love her the way they should have been loving her were getting all of her time, all of her attention, all of her energy, and she was mired in so much darkness and despair and anger and hurt and pain and everything else over those people, when she had people standing right in front of her face that loved her, that cared for her. But she couldn't see them because she was so focused on what she didn't have. And that happens to all of us sometimes. Somewhere under the rainbow. Let the colors show the way, let them carry you today. Bright new views to behold as your journey does unfold. Stars shine bright to guide you now. Listen to the hope and don't bow. Move forward with faith and trust. Upon you greatness will be thrust. Trust your dreams will come true as long as you follow through. And that's where that follow through comes from too. That follow through doesn't come through from everything being handed to you or everything coming easily to you. That follow through comes from having to fight to the top, having to fight your way through life, having to fight just to be in this world. That's where that follow through comes from. And your dreams will come true if you stay dedicated, committed, if you continue to follow your path and head towards your purpose, regardless of what may be going on around you or how many times it fails. It took 1,001 tries to make the light bulb. Those 1,000 failures were not failures. Those 1,000 failures were success in the making. Because if it wasn't for those 1,000 failures, there never would have been that one success. And that's all it takes, is that one success, that one moment, that one opening or opportunity. And if you walk away, you'll never find that opportunity. Own who you are. There are so many things that you can do. The jack of all trades is you. Know your worth and the value you offer. Save some change for the coffer. Build and grow for yourself. You're not meant for the shelf. Let yourself shine and have trust. Faith is always a solid must. Keep heart through the hard times. When you're stressed, write down some rhymes. Love who you are. Don't fit in their box. You stand out as much as Babe's blue ox. So see that uniqueness inside of you. You are someone that nobody could ever recreate. There is only one of you. And that one is amazing. It's beautiful. It's unique. It's everything that it was meant to be and supposed to be. And it's something that is worth loving. Also, when you love yourself in that beautiful way, you love the entire world around you in a much better way. That's how your view of the world around you goes from a view of a fiery pit of hell and despair to one of a beautiful, peaceful, amazing heaven. A lot of it has to do with how you view yourself, because the world around you is a reflection of you. If you are seeing the world as this gray, cloudy, disgusting, despicable, awful, dark place, that darkness is inside of you. That's the only way you could see it, is if it's inside of you. So work on healing your view of self so that you can heal your view of the world. Be quiet so you can hear. Observe your surroundings and listen. It's amazing the things that you can pick up on when you're quiet. And when you just allow things, when you surrender and just allow the world to exist around you without having to do anything or say anything, without having to be a part of anything, just being able to sit. I really enjoy going down to the canal near me and just sitting and watching the birds and listening to them. It's amazing the beauty that you can find around you if you look for it. And in those moments that are turbulent and painful and hard and despairing and horrible and awful, go do something like that. Do something that brings you that peace. That's called self-care. We can choose to stay stuck in that. We can choose to focus on the psychosis coming in. We can choose to focus on the anxiety, the fear, the doubt, the pain, the hardship, the hurt. Or we can choose to focus on something beautiful that helps us to be at peace throughout those hard times. Take the path less traveled. Ora de Prophet has a song called The Road Less Traveled. Or you can go look up Robert Frost's poem with Two Roads Diverged. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Didn't know which one I should take. Which one are you going to take? Because there's always a choice. You can take the road to the fiery pit of hell and despair, or you can take the road to the beauty of heaven on earth around you, because it is there if you look for it. Spirit quest and journeys could be important as well. You could be being asked to meditate more, or to really dive deeper on your meditations if you have been meditating. It's time to go to that deeper level. And you have to allow yourself to do that. I'm somebody that, okay, I have done acid once in my life. It took 6 tabs and some Molly to kick it in. And it also took me allowing it. That's the key ingredient that was missing. That's why it took so much, because I was not allowing it to happen. I was guarding against it. Some people have such a high guard that they can't break through it without consciously allowing it to happen. Being able to see the beauty in the nighttime, being able to see that light and that hope and that joy all around you, even when it's hard, even when it's dark, even when it's hurtful and painful, even when there's only a sliver of the moon out, and you're not sure if you can trust your intuition to guide you. Know that those stars are all around to guide you too. Follow the light. Follow that hope. have faith and trust in the path that you are choosing to take. I kind of want to pull out some of my newer cards from my picture bag. So bear with me for a second. Often overlooked, but totally golden. Just because you're overlooked does not mean you are not valuable. Just because people don't see the beauty does not mean you are not valuable. Think about what I was saying about seeing the beauty yourself. If those people aren't seeing the beauty inside of themselves, they definitely aren't seeing the beauty inside of you either. So don't judge your view of yourself on what other people have to offer to that view. Some of you could actually even make jewelry as well, especially from stones and things like that. And you know what? If anybody has any kind of natural products that they make and things like that, and you'd like somebody to test them out and put them out there for you, my P.O. box is down in the description box below, and I would be glad to check out some of your products and let people on here know about them. You may be looking at things, kind of side-eyeing things though, and unsure of whether or not you can trust things. And it's time to just take that leap of faith, one up, a free life, a new chance at life. A lot of things happen in our lives that create disruptions, and it gives us a new chance at life if we take that chance. We can either fall into despair, self-pity, hurt, pain, anxiety, worry, fear, all of those things, or we can step up and we can take that chance being thrown our way. We can have the courage and faith to rise to that occasion. And it's time to really rise to that occasion. P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta. If anybody has seen the movie The Mask, that's a great movie. And you know what? He got an extra chance at life. He was living a very boring, unfulfilling, not happy life where he was just miserable every day. And it was all because of his fear. And he got a chance to face those fears, and he got a chance to do something that actually made him feel alive. And it's time to take that chance to make yourself feel alive. What's the point of living if we're not living? And yeah, we could die any day, but we could die any day. Taking a risk isn't going to increase our chances of dying any day, but what it is going to do is increase our chances of living every day. So it's time to take some risks in your life and to really turn it around to be something beautiful, something that you could be proud of, something that you could be fulfilled in and happy with, instead of something that is just a miserable, awful existence of living in the shadows. So that's what I have for today's reading, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Once again, if anybody would like to be able to donate to the channel, you can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wishlist, and my P.O. box in the description box below. And I truly appreciate each and every one of you who does anything to support me on my channel and support me on my path and on my dreams. You guys mean the world to me because, like I said before, I have spent a lot of time fighting against a lot of people that really just... It's not that they wanted to tear me down or anything like that. They didn't believe in what I was doing. And that's all it is. They don't believe in it until you show them it's true. I was watching something about Cardi B the other day about how her mom didn't believe in anything that she was doing. She didn't take it serious. Her mom was a rapper too. She did not take anything that Cardi B was doing serious. And she didn't think that she was going to make something with it until she proved her wrong. And sometimes that's what it takes to give you the strength to be able to go down that path, is the need to prove people wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's reading, and I would absolutely love to hear what you guys thought about it. And I hope you have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.